Next up is travel automation. Travel automation builds and supports travel software applications specifically for the travel industry. What type of applications? GDS scripts, traveler profile extraction and migration, Cubotic, web services, robotics, to name a few. Travel automation is well versed in creating custom software solutions for the travel industry and implementing these systems in travel companies, both large and small. Presenting for travel automation is Dale Weston.
Thank you. So what distinguishes travel automation from the other presenters that you see here today? Well, what you'll notice is that most of them, they've got a business. They've got a business model. They've thought of a cool idea, and they're bringing that to the marketplace. They're trying to present it to you in a way that's going to connect you with them. Basically, you do their thing. Travel automation is a little bit different. Why? Because our sole purpose is creating applications for you. We do your thing. So what we're trying to find out is, what do you want? When travel agencies are surveyed, the thing they often talk about is automation. We want automation. We want something that makes it easier to do the things we do every day. So what do travel agents do every day? Well, hopefully they sell travel. And that involves being on the phone, connecting with customers, having 6 work areas full of stuff, and you're busy all day. We all know what kind of a hectic lifestyle that is. And then finally, maybe towards the end of the day, you have some time to breathe, and then what are you going to do? Work the queues. Why do they call it working the queues anyway? What's so bad? What's wrong with working the queues? I mean, isn't it, you just pull up the thing, and there it is on one screen, all the information you need about why that P&R is in your queue, right? No? No, of course not. The information that you need comes from all kinds of different areas of that P&R. You're going to have to display the itinerary. You're going to have to try to find what the original flight details were. Sometimes they're in the itinerary, UN, NO. Sometimes they're in the history, P3, P4, PQ, PE. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? So you look for all of those different things. You gather all the information you need to find out, why is this P&R here? What do I need to do? And where does it all go? In your head. And hopefully you've remembered everything that you've looked at over the last 5 minutes, but probably you don't. And so what happens? Well, you go back. Well, what was the itinerary again? So I do that again. The nature of the job creates a very time-consuming situation, and one that creates multiple repetitive Sabre entries, and, unfortunately, can lead to errors and omissions. Our customer service is certainly impacted by the nature of this task. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to give you what you want. We're going to make working the queues easier, faster, better. And what we're very pleased to announce to you today is the latest in the Cubotic line. Now, Cubotic has already been addressing the needs of some very, very large travel companies around the world with fully automated robotic tools. But what about everybody else? What about this 250,000 Sabre Red Workspace users out there? How do we find something that's attractive to every one of them? Cubotic Agent Assist is hopefully the answer. So imagine a world where you go into the queue, you have your P&R, you start the application, and the application looks at all those different areas in the P&R in a blink of an eye and pulls that together for you in one place. And that's what you see here. Now notice the top section. It tells you what condition it found in this P&R. This particular one has a new OSI message in it. Tells you when was the last time this P&R was looked at by Cubotic. That's how we know that the message is new. Also tells you whether or not it's ticketed. Then if you look at that middle section, you see that there's a whole range of choices that you can accomplish now that you know what the condition is. Do I want to queue place this P&R somewhere else for follow-up? Do I want to just remove it from the queue? Do I want to put a remark in the P&R for somebody else? Do I want to send an email to the customer? Is there something else I need to do? And so you make all those choices. And then at the bottom, you see a very important feature. And that's the ability to save what you said you wanted to do for this condition. What sort of conditions does Cubotic recognize? Well, I talked about schedule changes. So there's 3 different varieties of those. You have minor, you have intermediate, you have major. What does minor mean? Well, you decide. So minor time change. You get to decide what sort of time limit. For some, it's 10 minutes. For others, it's 30 minutes. Maybe for others, it's 3 hours. whatever it is that your level of customer service and your customers' expectations dictate. So based on that, then Cubotics says, look, here's a PNR with a new OSI message, or here's one with a minor schedule change, or here's one that's completely messed up. You're definitely going to have to do something. Once you have the OSI condition, we're going to dive a little deeper into that. So you can pull down the list, you can see what the OSI messages are, and then you can select the choices that you want. In this case, we're going to queue place. And so the application will then just walk through the choices that you've made and determine what it is that we're going to do. So it will then write remarks into the PNR so you can see later what sort of action you took, why it took it. And then finally we have the removing the PNR from the queue. And the next PNR comes up. This one happens to be a minor schedule change. So in this case, you might decide to accept the schedule change. So it will do that. You may also have decided, I want to send an email to the client. So the first time, it'll ask you to fill in the details for the email data, but it'll save that. If you elect to save this for use in the next time you have this kind of situation with a PNR and you want to email the client, well, all of this is pre-stored. Finally, we have the accepting of the schedule change. We want to do the minimum connecting time to make sure that we haven't violated that. If we have, then we'll take a different path. And there will be the sending the email, and then the DIT command is done so that you can push information into the invoicing system if you need to do that. All of that is configurable. Each condition, you have different configurations that you can select, and then all of those are remembered. So here's a condition that's a frequent case where all the segments are canceled. You can elect to remove those. And if you do, then it'll confirm that that's indeed what you want to do. You click continue. It will clean up that PNR for you, and off you go. So there's many different things that are found in the PNR, and it assists you with doing the right thing each time, makes it fast, easy, and better. So what's the benefits? Well, as it says, we have faster handling of inbound PNR queues. A lot of time can be saved because you don't have to spend all that time searching through the PNR to find out what is the situation. Let's not overlook less Sabre entries to complete the transaction, because Cubotics is able to do it just once, and then it will remember all of those things, and it won't have the repetitive nature that we see today. Accuracy, and you're thorough. So the customer service will definitely improve as a result of using this. What do we call that? Automation, travel automation. But now none of it would be worth anything if it wasn't affordable. So we're very pleased to announce special pricing for this application for the vast array of Sabre users around the world. This application will be sold for $10 USD per user per year. There is nothing else like it in the store right now that I'm aware of. Hopefully, at that price and with these features, this will be attractive to a vast array of travel agents, home agents around the world. We're very excited to see that happen. No transaction fees, no hidden costs. Gentlemen?
Hey, Dale, nice job.
Thank you.
How does the agent, how do they pay you for this? Is it through Sabre or is it?
It is not yet through Sabre. We hope that there will be a payment module coming into the Red App Center shortly, but until then, we'll probably use something like PayPal for them to pay.
Okay, thank you.
You'd mentioned, obviously, your business has been focused in this space for a while, and so I'm just curious what you learned here recently that led to that, what we just saw there. I mean, you can see some of it, obviously, intuitively, but anything specific that you guys learned in your interactions with agents
Yes,
that ended up here?
Yeah, sorry. We learned that we were charging too much, that our pricing model for very large agencies was good because we were saving them tons and tons of time. But when you get down into that very large sector of small and medium-sized, even single agents, we just didn't have a pricing that was effective for them. So what we're really trying to do with this app is reach that broad market and see if we can develop and create and put an app on the App Store that's a little bit more like the Apple App Store, where people go, hey, that's cool. Sure, I'll buy that. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, Dale, do you have a conservative guess on how much time this would save your average agent?
Yes. I think that generally speaking, to process a PNR, properly probably takes about 4 or 5 minutes. And we think by using this software, we'll cut it down to under 2, maybe even 1.
Thank you.
And it can be used on any queue? You go into
Yes.
the queue first and then you start the app?
Assuming that it's a typical inbound airline message type queue. So it's schedule changes and OSI messages, and those are the things that we're primarily looking at. Wherever those appear, it's fine.
Okay. So if it's been distributed out to the agents
Oh,
can-
sure, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm going to ask a question that you asked previously, which is, how does the agent know they've got work to do? Do they need to go invoke the app, or is it somehow
Yeah,
pinging them?
there is no automated system alerting them to anything with this. This is to integrate with the job that they're normally accustomed to doing every day. Yeah. Thank you.